Welcome to the Blue Room. We are here at Hill Dickinson Stadium. As you can see, if you're watching us on YouTube, we are sat pitchside. Thank you very much to Everton for letting us in today. Let's go and have a look around, come and film some content. I am Matt Jones. Joining me are Dave Downey to my left and Les Roberts to my right. I'm going to do a bit of a preview of the Brighton game a little bit later on, but first, Dave, just want to talk a little bit more about the ground. Obviously, 3 days out now from Everton playing the first competitive game here, and driving around the outside a little bit today and seeing new parts of the stadium we haven't seen yet. Still gives that a little bit of a thrill, doesn't it? Still makes the heart rate increase a little bit. What are your thoughts being here today and seeing it from a bit of a different perspective?
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, we were lucky enough to come in from where the players come in, and it's amazing how close it is from when you enter the stadium to where the pitch is now, where we're sitting. It's about, 50 yards away maybe. We're walking through a straight tunnel. It's obviously where the players come out, walk through. Everything there, it's just all ready now, isn't it? And the game itself, it just looks like it's prepared. It looks like now, and it's taken a while to do the finer parts of the stadium, which I guess people have had issues with, and various people have said various things about it, but it just looks like as perfect as it was going to be when if you came lucky enough to come to the test events, things like that. Each time we've came since then, something else has been built, something else looks perfect. Colours, all of it. It's incredibly exciting, and it gives you a little bit of a thrill, a little bit of excitement just walking through, and it's just going to be incredible. And we were just looking at the pitch, weren't we? And it's like an actual carpet.
It is.
It doesn't look like it gets soil off it. I don't even know if there is soil there. It's that perfect.
Yeah, I think this is the third time I've been in, because I was lucky enough to go to 2 test events. And each time it's just like took your breath away. I mean, coming in, like they're going to be doing stadium tours, aren't they, eventually, of this place? So I think if anyone can come and do a stadium tour, because walking through that tunnel and then walking out and seeing the vastness from pitchside, it's unreal. It's sort of, when you walk into your seat in the stand, it's like, oh my God, this place is incredible, it's huge. But then to see it from pitchside, it's going to be something else for these players coming out on Sunday. It's just going to be, no matter what happens, it's going to be an event, isn't it?
Yeah, and like just coming in from the other side, and like I said, coming through the tunnel, like there's so many things. Like I don't know about you guys, but whenever I go on holiday to like a different city, like I always want to do a stadium tour of like the football team, and I've done quite a lot in recent years. I think of Bilbao, relatively modern stadium, Porto again, relatively modern, and you go around there, and like this feels like it's a level above even those, which you would expect. Obviously, it's only just been built, but like I was saying to you guys, when we came through the car park before, and like we drove around the right-hand side as people looking at it from Regent Road, and came around onto the front, and then go to that car park. It's like, it's just mad that this is our stadium. Like this is going to be where Everton are going to be playing their football for the rest of our lives, and it's it is such a fitting venue. There are so many things that are going to take people like a bit of time to get used to. To even being around the front there and seeing those big steps at the railings, the way in which the stand curves a little bit differently. It feels like we've spoken a lot on the show as well, how it's going to take a while for us all to kind of get used to, and maybe being a bit apprehensive about that. But I think there's something quite nice about that as well, isn't there? In the sense that whenever we're going to come here for the next year, 2 years, 5 years, there's going to be little bits and pieces that we're like, oh, I didn't get onto that, or that's nice, or that's a little bit new, and that's something to look forward to each week, really.
One of the main issues that I heard after the first test was older fans. I think that's because they're always going to miss Goodison. I remember speaking to a lot of them saying I'm not coming back here because it takes away everything Everton. Be interested to get their views now. Older fans who spent decades at Goodison.
Your dad couldn't wait till he Goodison, to be fair.
So, there you go. And obviously it's still there. The women's team is still playing there, but here it's just modern day football now. And I think we've mentioned it so many times on shows and previews and everything that Everton needed to evolve into modern day football. And with that comes where you move to. With that becomes a stadium. How many years have we spoken about stadium issues and Kingsdock? What was even in Croxteth, Kirby? I mean, if someone said you're going to go through all of that mess and end up with this, you'd have absolutely taken it, wouldn't you? Although it's taken a long time. Now is where it gives you the little goosebumps around you, sort of your back and your shoulder. Everything, the feeling about it is Everton related. Obviously, we'll come up to what we need to do on the pitch and all that sort of thing, but maybe that is being here right now for a different time. I know we did a preview for the Brighton game, but anybody who hasn't been here yet, picking your season ticket, you've had to do it online and things like that. I'm incredibly fortunate to be able to do this, but I can't see one person disliking this place, and I think that's a massive step up, because there was still plenty of people who were concerned about coming. I certainly was, not because like you always see it coming. You can see it, you do the film, it goes really fast, and you can see it over the mirror, how he built it, and you're like, still don't know. One day football, when you go to the Emirates, when you go to the Etihad, all in modern day stadium now, you think it doesn't quite have the atmosphere. I think all the fans who have been to Main Road, for instance, compare that to the Etihad, don't like it because it's not the same old Manchester City. I was concerned about that here, but everything I've experienced, everything I look at, all of the fans, I mean, the paint, sort of not literally, but the paint still feels wet around here. It's that new, it's that modern, but it's that Everton now.
Yeah, I think the one thing we can't do is, if the atmosphere at Brighton to start off is great and then it peters out, we can't say, the new ground's shite because the atmosphere is crap, because you've got to remember at Goodison it wasn't always great. There were certain times when the atmosphere was incredible, and when it was the best place on earth. We've got to make that here ourselves, so we can't straight away think the atmosphere's just not the same, the atmosphere's not there, because we are all sort of finding our way around it. I think that will be the difficulty at the start of the season, or maybe for the whole of next season, or the whole of this season, is that everyone's finding the way around, so even the players will be, it's new to them, and although they'll love to come and play in this brand new stadium, like Mo said, the away team will as well, so everyone will love to come and play it, and that's the thing we've got to get over. But as fans, we've just got to just enjoy it and just be just make it our own now, because it is incredible. I think there's been a lot of talk about the seats, hasn't there, and the fact that there's no white seats like at Goodison. If you're watching on the video, we'll put this on our socials. Just behind us, you can see Everton and the in the top tier of the stand there. So the 1878 put flags out in Everton 1878 on the north stand, and it looks great. And I do think it would add something to the ground. I don't know about you, Matt.
Yeah, I think I think you're so right about those sorts of things, like the atmosphere and that, like the stuff at Goodison, which made Goodison great, took years, decades to kind of form and fall into place, didn't it? And I think as much as everyone's going to be bouncing into here on Sunday, as much as the flags are out and people are going to be waving them, there's going to be a lot of noise around kick-off. I was just talking before, saying that person who sat by you at Goodison, who would be the one person who, when they started chanting, you knew everybody was going to follow them. They're going to be gone for everybody now. They're going to be scattered around in different parts of the stadium. There might be two of them jostling to start chanting in the same sort of bit. And just those little cues you get, in the Gladys Street, I knew looking 10, 15 rows down, if one particular person stood up, then I will be standing up in about 5 seconds. Those sorts of things are not going to be there. Those little intricacies that make Goodison great that you sort of forget about are going to take ages to perform. But it's not a blank canvas, this is it, but it's an amazing opportunity, and everything is here for us to get this right, I think, and get that atmosphere built quickly. It's not going to happen straight away, but it could happen quickly, because just look at that stand there that you can see how steep it is, the standing bit in the lower tier. Sitting here now, you can hear extractor fans and stuff the forklift trucks outside and the beeping. That's echoing around, just like that gentle hum and that gentle murmuring. You can hear it echoing around the stadium. Imagine what it's going to be like when Everton score a big goal and 50,000 people go absolutely berserk. That's what I'm looking forward to. I think the stuff around the chants and the atmosphere and all that are going to take a while. But that first, it could be Sunday, it could be Jack Grealish cutting in from that side over there and everyone in that top corner in front of the south stand, 80 minutes. That first big noise and the reaction to it, I think it's going to be something that's going to take our breath away a little bit.
I think that's spot on, and I think only when that happens you'll realise the power of what you can actually do as a fan with your voice. And I think what you're talking about the atmosphere is, I think it's a bit of a catch-22, I think, because if you're going to complain about the atmosphere, then there's no reason why you can't do something about it yourself. That's the difference here. Like you said, that maybe not the term. There's a clean slate for us all to do what we want and say what we want. So obviously, that's always been the case as a football fan in the stadium. But like you say, I think where it takes a while is I think you're so right there. You hit the nail on the head about being around people where you're used to the way things started, and certain individuals will get chants going, and the away games. I compare it to the away games because when Everton go away from home, it's just everyone who's there starts chanting and screaming because they go to all the away games everywhere they can. with Everton. That needs to be replicated here, but more tenfold or more than that, given the amount of fans we've got sitting here as well. I'm looking over there at the away end, where they're going to be sat over there in the corner. It's almost, me and Les have said it a couple of times, it's like when we went to Spurs, it's almost exactly where you'd sit when you went to Spurs, and the reason for that being, it's sort of like you're in an enclosure and you feel like you've just got everything around you that is quite intimidating. And I think every single part of this that you've spoken to, every single part of it, I mean, and I know I was quite sceptical about what we'd have given what he's done work-wise. His career as an architect's been phenomenal, but I don't think he's quite come to or had to do a place like this for tailor-made to what Everton wants, and he has. And you look at it now, and it's immense, and it feels like something that becomes your home quite quickly.
Yeah,
I was concerned by that, and I feel as if 2 test events in and seeing what I wasn't at Roma, but that seeing various capacities of it starts to feel more Everton, and I generally was concerned about getting that feeling, thinking that this is our home. What did you say? We were driving in, and what did you say? Can you believe this is Everton's home? And I think that feeling will be there, and with that will come a few issues of sorting different things out amongst fans, where you go before you game, routines, everything that you used to. Like County Road was like going to Goodison. They don't have that here, so there needs to be various things worked out there. Obviously, that'll add to what people will feel like coming into the stadium and the atmosphere as well. But just to reiterate, it's all down to us to make that change. Nobody's going to say to us, you've got to sing like this, you've got to sing like that. If you think that atmosphere is crap, do something about it.
Well, and the players as well.
That's it. Like they need to have their say on it as well, to be fair.
That's the big one, isn't it?
Yeah.
But we'll come on to that. Just on the Dan Mice thing, it's sort of like, we always take the piss, don't we, with that once Everton's touched you. When something goes wrong, we generally say, now, once Everton's touched you, and take the piss out of it that way. But with him, you think about the stadiums he's done and the buildings he's done, it seems like this is sort of like, has become his sort of life's work. Like, he seems the most proud of this stadium, and, like I said at the start, if you're lucky enough to get in and like do a stadium tour or something and get to see it from this level, it genuinely is something else. One of the charms of Goodison was how it had been built up over the years each side, and it was all a bit ramshackle, and it was ours, and it was do you know what? It was just our stadium, wasn't it? This is just fitting for any football team on the planet. This, and it's ours, which it's flipped everything on its head, hasn't it? We've got the great ground, we need the team to grace it now. But it's just having this in itself is exciting and should give everyone a lift. Like you said, Dave, about we all had our old match day routines. I am looking forward to making new ones now. Not looking forward to that walk in from town necessarily in the winter, but I am looking forward to seeing new places, going into town before the game, and then making our way in a different way and stuff. So it is all about making new memories now. We've all got our old memories from Goodison. Like you said, Dave, if you want to go back and watch the women's team, the ground's still there. We go and watch the women's team, but we have got our memories of Goodison now. It's just time to make new ones here, and it is dead exciting.
Yeah, loads of it's going to basically depend on how quick that happens, how good, what's happening on the pitches as well. If we start the season, well, we haven't started the season well, but if we get better and start the season well from this point, then there will be songs going for new players. There will be, people will be happy to come down here midweek and brave the cold to watch a good football team. I suppose we should probably move on to talk about the actual football that's going to be happening here on Sunday, Dave, because it's Brighton. It's Brighton and Hove Albion rocking up for the second consecutive year to play the first home game of our season. And obviously Monday was a bit of a disaster. Les has had enough. He doesn't want to talk about any football related stuff. He just wants to talk about the stadium.
If you listen to this via the podcast, you probably won't have seen anything because he hasn't pressed record. So apologies if that's been the case.
But they had a bit of an iffy start last week against Fulham. I don't think they played particularly well, but I think going back to what Les said there, referencing what Mo said after the Roma game, in regards to it's a nice place, it's a great stadium, but it could be a nice place for opposition teams to come and play as well. Like Brighton is sort of the team I go to in my head when I think about that. Play pretty football, a lot of space for them on the pitch to kind of get it down and play. We'll want to dominate the game and quiet this place down. So I think it'll be tricky, but I also think we've spoken about there, that first red card, that first big challenge, first corner, all those things. If we can get a few of them big moments in early and maybe get a goal and start well, then it feels like the sort of day where Everton just ride the momentum, and I hope we can get away from that point of view.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've had a few different thoughts about this, and I think if you are relishing coming to Everton, I think that's an issue for us more than the opponent, because they'll come here as soon as they come out to start training before warming up, before the game starts. You're looking at and thinking, I want to be the player that does this first, and I think that motivation's there for them. I think that's what Herzler's going to be shouting to them as well, is you've come to a new stadium, you do these on the first match here, you've got a chance to do so. I think that motivation for their team's going to be here. So I am quite fearful of that being the case. But then on the other side of the coin is, if that happens, they have a chance early on. That's when you'll see the atmosphere. I would think that is when you'd see everybody not having it. That was Goodison, wasn't it? That was the gladness that you've been in your whole life, Matt, where if they have a shot and it's a decent save by Pickford, or they have a couple of shots, or we lose the ball a couple of times, everyone is kicking off. In you know what I mean? And everyone watching us knows what I mean. We'll kick off at our own players when they're not doing well. And that's something that, the sooner that happens here, probably the better, because when that momentum comes there, obviously the players know that we're all behind their backs as well, in both the positive and negative mood, I suppose. But yeah, I feel that Brighton, when I seen the fixtures come out, we've had a bit of a curse against Brighton, haven't we, at all?
It was a stinker of a first game at all.
Yeah, it was, like much as I said about Leeds away on a Monday night. It's obviously proved to be the issue there. This now, I think first 5 minutes, they'll get what this place is all about. We don't know what it'll be like for Brighton. We don't know what it'll be like for our players. But the only fearful thing I have is, when you look back, and I think I've mentioned it a couple of times, you think about Southampton, took about 5 years before they won a game. St Mary's, I think Arsenal took a few games before they won their first one. I think the examples there of what we need to do something different to. I think you can look at various clubs that have gone to new stadiums, which is quite a regular thing these days, isn't it? And look at how they've got on. I think, you know what, they've set the tone there of what you need to, well, essentially not do, and that's how you're going to start getting a decent start here. But lose that first game as well. I'm not saying there's pressure on us here, but we want to get a win on the board as soon as we possibly can. So I mean, everything's here and ready for this against Sunday. Like you said, not changing the conversation to this. Those lads are going to be ready for it themselves when they walk out here.
Yeah, I do. I always go on about the different new grounds that teams have, because it is a thing. Because part of identity as a fan and part of identity as a team is like, it's in your stadium. Everton were Goodison was Everton. Like I said, got to sort of make this our identity now and this our own place. But that does start on Sunday, really, and you just got to put that Leeds game out the head and just do something differently to what they did there. Probably don't run round on a broom handle before you run on the pitch. To be honest, it might be a good start, because I'm sure that's what they did on Monday night.
There's no brooms in the tunnel. Just grab them on the way out.
There was a few there. They're still doing stuff in there.
But like everything we did on Monday, like, it's just do the opposite of that. It'd be so easy to come here and think, oh Christ, it's Brighton, they're a good side. They've got the sign over us. I think the last time we beat them was Ancelotti, 4-2. At home. Sorry, last time we beat them at home. I mean, away's different with them, isn't it? But at home, last time we beat them was Ancelotti. We beat them 4-2 and Hamed scored. Since then, I think we've drawn 1 and lost 3, but they battered us. The 3 times they beat us, they battered us, really. Stuck at least 3 past us. So yeah, I mean, we can't look at that and think, oh, we can't be on the back foot. I think we were on Monday night. I think Moyes looked at that. And like we've been saying, Leeds on a Monday night, first game of the season, they're bouncing. Not a good place to go. And it wasn't, but I think the manager and the players would have felt for that as well, because they went there thinking that. We can't think the same on Saturday. This is our day, on Sunday. This is our day on Sunday, and we've got to impose ourselves from the start. I know it's a cliche to say you've got to get off to a good start, get a few shots in, but like you said, Matt, if they do that and the crowd's up, it'll build momentum. Like you said, Dave, if they don't, and Brighton get on the front foot from the start, it builds a different kind of momentum where we start getting a bit aggy, we start getting on the back, and it doesn't really work. Because I think that's what we need to avoid. Make Sunday our day. Brighton are just there to be part of our day, and the part of our day that we just like forget about and we go and deal with. That's what we need to do.
Still take no more.
That's so spot on. And like, if we win on Sunday, like, nobody's talking about why haven't we signed the right winger, or are we getting Nathan Ake or anything like that. It's one of those where it's like everyone's just talking about how boss this place is and how boss the atmosphere was and how good the goal was and all those things about the match, which we haven't been talking about all summer. It's been transfers. We haven't won a game in pre-season. Like, we haven't really talked about much footy-related stuff. But you're right. Like, I want to listen to you lads on Monday, on Blue Monday, being like, oh my word, what an amazing day that was. Like, our bosses are around. How great was the beer serve and the self-service. So, just all those sorts of things.
So I am looking forward to that first half-time pint, by the way.
Yeah, I mean,
£6.85.
The WhatsApp group's 25 people strong now.
Bags not get the first round.
Don't want to get in the first round in there. But yeah, just before we wrap up, Dave, just team-wise, obviously we don't, recording this now, don't know if anyone's going to be fit, or Bramley told me certainly won't be fit. We don't know about Mykolenko. What would you change? I mean, Grealish has got to start, hasn't he? You'd imagine that's the big one.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he does. I'd actually swap Beto for Barry. I think if you want to get a young lad,
such a piece of walk past.
He's just over there. I think he. I won't say deserve it, but I think if you don't want to play that much and you want to really get them going on a decent start to the career with us, then you start them in the best place you possibly can. The first game of the stadium, when we spoken about for the past 20 minutes, that is a good place for him to start. I didn't think Beto did himself any favours, but he barely got the ball to him, so I mean, maybe that's a bit harsh. I thought the way he set us up, I've said this a couple of times, and I don't think I've really been slated so much for saying it, but I actually think James Garner was fine at left back. I thought he didn't do anything wrong. Obviously, the issue was he couldn't kick it with his left foot up the pitch. He was always cut in on his right and hoof it up there. I mean, we've got to pass the ball better. You've got to get in and around the side like Brighton as well, who are mobile. You need to be a bit quicker. I think just Gay was poor as well. I think a lot of players, I'd say, you'd probably say 8, 9, maybe, that didn't do themselves any favours. Having said that,
we can't drop 9 players.
No, but what I'm saying is, on the more positive side of things, which is not usual for me to say, is that they've got a point to prove now. They're going to have to start here because injury players, particularly defensively. I mean, Keane's in for, I imagine that back four still going to be the same, unless we've got Ache in there. But yeah, I mean, that side of it, I mean, even a Ghost fan saying that Keane did anything wrong. No, I thought it looked to me, and I've said this isn't massive criticism, but it felt like a championship game to me when we were playing a side like Leeds. Leeds had nothing but basic championship football. We went beat us with a massive controversy, but let's keep that out of our minds. So that's probably a 0-0 game. So from that point of view, it's still something that you need to take as a start point that you absolutely have to improve on.
Yeah.
The way you're trying to play against that side is, you mentioned about the atmosphere that we're playing against there. Turn that round here, and you've got people throwing in tackles. That happens first time. I mean, Dewsbury Hall goes in and wins a 50-50, kicks someone off the pitch without getting the yellow card, of course. Then that is the type of thing that we get on our toes for. So when you start that way, I feel as if the team we had, you've got to start Grealish. Absolutely have to start Grealish. I think there's a shout maybe, even though it probably goes a little bit contradictory what I said about Garner, but if you put Neil there at left back, he's the only left-footed lad that we've got. Yeah, whereas maybe you can put Garner to right back, which we've seen him play well. What are you laughing at?
Now you're talking.
Do you like that, do you? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's my thing, man.
Clicking fingers and everything. What's going on there? I thought that was like, I was going to say that.
No, it was.
Oh, I'll put him to right back, then you may be thinking about Keane was the better of the two centre-backs, to be fair, I thought. If you put O'Brien in, I think O'Brien needs to be one of our starting centre-backs now, particularly if Branthwaite's out. I mean, the end goal for me, I'd like to see Branthwaite and him as our starting centre-back. As much as Tarkowski's the club captain, I still think he's on the sunset of his career, to put it maybe politely. I know he's still going to have a game. I know centre-back.
I do think we're better with him in, though, to be honest.
I think right now we are, yeah. But and maybe you've got to be in a better position when you get towards the latter end of the season, where you're in mid-table, I've nothing to play for, or head the bid that we're safe from a relegation battle. I'd like to see those two as a centre-back, but certainly, yeah, I think what you said there, and what I've said about Neil that side,
yeah.
You've got somebody who can go forward then as well. You've got somebody who can whip across, a little bit more balanced. So that'd be the main change that I made. And obviously, Grealish. I'm still so excited to see Grealish, Dye, and Alcaraz, even though he was poor. I think he had to play a lot deeper than what we want him to. And then Barry in front. That front four still excites me, despite the fact we didn't really see much of it. And I know Grealish only got like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, this is the thing, isn't it? The team selection is dead important because it sets the tone. It's not just important, obviously, for the game. Seeing that starting lineup sets the tone, because when we all saw that starting lineup on Monday night, we were all trying to figure out who's playing where here. It does sort of like you're second guessing, and it sort of takes a little bit away. So if we're doing that on Saturday and we're walking in thinking who's playing where, or if Garner's playing left back, and like you said, he grew into the game and did okay, but he's not a left back. Do you know what I mean? He can't use his left foot. So, and that took away from the midfield as well, because I don't think Erubunum's up to it at all. So to have him next to Garner had a stinker, Erubunum wasn't good enough. It's kind of like, well, then your midfield's gone. I think if James Garner was in there, he's a better midfielder, and it would have worked better. Like you said, I would have put McNeil left back because he can play there. He's not really got the pace for a winger, has he? But I think he could do a job at left back, definitely. I was just surprised he never got on, to be honest, because we were in need of a goal and some inspiration, and regardless of what you think of him, he does provide that. He provides goals and assists, doesn't he? So, but yeah, I think I would. If there's no left back, I'd like to see McNeil there. O'Brien's a funny one because he had a bit of a nightmare game as well, but I wouldn't drop him from right back necessarily for this.
So you put Garner into midfield then?
I put Garner in midfield then, but the thing with O'Brien is after having that stinker last night on Monday night against the winger, he's coming up against another good winger against Brighton. So if he's got in his head, if he's having a little dip in form at the start of the season, that could be something to worry about. So there are options there for Moyes, but I think, like you said, he's got to start Barry and he's got to start Grealish, because they're two high-profile sort of signings, and that will give everyone a lift. But we just got to do better than them. What are your team selections, Matt?
I sort of think he might go I wouldn't be two of us going to get back three, to be honest. Like if you're gonna, because I think McNeil left wing back kind of works.
Yeah,
you haven't really got a right wing back, but James Garner can maybe do that. So I don't know. I think I just want to see I want to see Grealish on the pitch, and I want to see Dewsbury Hall more involved in the game, and maybe that involves playing him a little bit deeper so we can get on the ball a little bit more. I don't know, but I think it's just on Monday, our best technical players just didn't get the foot on the ball at all. They got swallowed up by the atmosphere, swallowed up by the intensity down the road, and we just couldn't get them into the game. And I think that's something here with this. The grass is perfectly caught. It's going to be good for playing footy on, so make the most of the good technical players we've actually got in the side. But I think we're just about done here. We've got a prediction for Sunday, Dave. Dare I ask?
Yeah, we're back to these 4-0. Seriously, I reckon they'll come on and shit themselves. They'll have a shot on goal at the bar, or they'll make an amazing save, and then Everton will just kick on.
Les?
I'm going to go 2-0 win to the Toffees. I'm going to say we'll get off to a good start from absolutely no basis whatsoever.
I'm going to go a wild 3-2 win. I think it's going to be a bit of a mad game, but yeah, of course, we'll have to wait and see. But let us know what you think. Are you watching this on YouTube in the comments? If it's on Spotify, you can leave a comment too. Leave us a rating, leave us a review. All those things help. Again, cheers to Everton for letting us come down here today. It's been absolutely boss to be sat down here at pitch level, looking around this great stadium. So on Sunday, we will obviously have our usual instant match reaction, but from this season, we're going to start doing a more instant.
really instant.
Yeah, he's thinking of a better name for it, definitely. But
instant ratings.
Yeah, so we're going to do
on the side of the Mersey as well.
Yeah,
we'll be doing that.
So we're all set together. We're going to do something very quickly, as soon as full time. So hopefully by the time you're on your way home or travelling back or whatever, you'll have something to listen to in your feed. Just a short sort of player ratings, instant reaction. Then we'll be doing our usual longer analysis from the Denby Castle. Analysis? Who do we are? We're doing our usual stuff, maybe, which will probably best say, from the Denby Castle, as we will do usually. So 2 podcasts coming your way after the game on Sunday. Watch this on Thursday night. We'll have Good Times podcast out on Friday morning. There'll be a weekly podcast as well. And Peter Mack is also doing the Everton Women's football show too. So absolutely.
And there's a mailbag.
And there's a mailbag as well. So yeah.
Hey, sorry, just on that, the 200th YouTube mailbag.
There we go.
The big one.
There we
Anniversary episode.
So much content coming your way in the next few days on the Blue Room. So stick with us and look out for all that. Cheers for tuning in. That's our sign off from Hill Dickinson Stadium.